Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to review the TK45C from KWA. Hey guys, so hopefully you've seen my compared footage from a couple of weeks ago when I finally got hold of my TK45C and I used it for a couple of games. Before I get started giving you a review, if you are enjoying my content, please do consider liking and subscribing, just because it does me an awful lot of favours. So, here we've got my TK45C, which I got from JTAC Customs, thanks to John at JTAC, really good guy, sorted me out with this little beauty. Now, obviously, the main difference between this one and the recoil one is we've got a shorter front end that is key mod and not M-lock, and we've got no recoil and a different style adjustable stock coming out. The battery sits in this little box here, and if I extend and remove the stock altogether, pop the battery compartment, the battery will sit in here. Now, my first little niggle, I suppose, with this is the battery box is not awfully massive. So here I've got my normal crane stock 7.4 volt LiPo battery, and it will not fit in there lengthwise. Now, a company, I think it's AirTech, I can't remember off the top of my head, does a battery extension from other versions of the KWA stuff that use this style stock battery compartment and stock, and it adds on another section that brings it out here, so you have the stock pretty much fully extended. It might actually sit at the second position as opposed to fully extended. It might actually be the second position, and it does give you an extra little bit. I do think they missed a trick by not including one of those extensions in the box for you. That said, it's negligible. A lot of people, me included, run smaller ones than these. I've got a 2200 milliamp that sits probably about 3/4 of the size and does fit in there, and that's where I ran it on the day in my combat footage that you've seen. It is wired to a mini Tamiya to start with. Now, rate of fire wise, it's a little bit nippier than the recoil, purely because it's not driving the recoil engine, the big heavy weight. So this is on a 7.4 volt LiPo. That is definitely a lot snappier and a lot nippier on a 7.4 volt LiPo straight out of the box compared to the Ronin Recon, the TK45 recoil. So instantly I was quite happy with that I did get a little bit better rate of fire. That said, I will be installing a gate tighten in this for a little bit better trigger response and better rate of fire. So this is why this review is sort of going to be split in half a little bit, and I'm going to review it as it is out of the box, and then take a break. I'm going to install the gate, and then I'm going to let you know what I think after I've put the gate in. Now, the mags I found fed absolutely perfectly, just like in the recoil, and it did come with the standard 120 round mags, so nothing special there. I did like the front end. I found it quite nice to have something a little bit shorter. I noticed nothing different in terms of range. However, the hop rubber was absolutely atrocious, just like the recoil one. And I went to set my hop before I actually used it in a game. I knew to go and test it first, and fed probably nearly a full mag through it, and just could not get any sort of real effective hop coming out of the hop rubber. Went back to my car, got out a new hop rubber, hop bucking, whichever you want to call it, split it down just like I've done before, put the new hop rubber in. For this one I've gone for a Prometheus air seal bucking, put that back in, reassembled, absolutely spot on. It's not quite pinpoint accurate, and I know people really like their accuracy, and there is a little bit of a spread at the end, and probably a tight ball will fit. Some of my viewers have commented that they've tried other brands of barrels and they're just too tight of a fit and won't go in properly. So that's something I'm going to look into in future, is what barrels will actually fit in there, if at all. I'm guessing they've machined things quite snugly and tight in there, so it's obviously causing issue for some brands. All in all, I am pretty damn happy with it. In terms of range, can't really tell the difference. Rate of fire is definitely better. However, I will say that it's not quite as satisfying to shoot. There's something about having the recoil there, the little kick going and things, it just makes an awful lot of difference to me personally. Now, I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the recoils. Absolutely fine. If you're not, but you like the look of this is definitely the go-to choice. I did find, though, however, that the stock was actually more comfortable on this to shoulder than on the recoil, and I play with it in that position, find that that's nice. That's about a fully collapsed M4 stock length, roughly maybe a little tad longer, and just felt a little bit comfier to shoulder. In part of the game, I did actually switch the uppers and remove this upper and fielded the M-Lock upper, the longer one from the recoil. Fit perfect, fed perfect. Obviously, it's all interchangeable between the two rifles, so it's really, really nice. This did look cool with a longer upper on, and as you probably noticed in my footage, I did remove the mock suppressor and I put the little barrel extension on and an Osprey suppressor, which, being a Division 2 fan, I saw the picture from the start of the game where it's obviously a Chris Vector, but this is based on that with the Osprey suppressor on it, and it just looked awesome. It felt good to shoot as well. At that point, I did actually change the inner barrels as well. I took the whole hop and barrel assembly out of this and switched it with my recoil one. Again, that's mostly why I can say there's no real difference in range, having shot both barrels, both in the same weapons, in each of them. I really can't tell anything in terms of range. Pretty good range, moderate accuracy. A tight ball would definitely bring that a little bit tighter and a little bit neater, but really decent. So I'm going to come back in a few seconds, although it will have been a lot longer to me, and I'm going to have installed a gate tighten in this and give you a further update on what the trigger response is like and the rate of fire. So yeah. So I'm back. I've spent a little bit of time installing the Titan, so I've now got the wires coming out of the back. I've run it through the app on my phone, which I've got the little USB link. So I've run this to a USB-C and plug it into my phone, run the app, and what I've done is I've just made sure that I have calibrated the fire selector and just checked that it could detect the trigger moving and the fire selector in the right position. So let's have a look now and see what the rate of fire is. So I've got a 2200 milliamp LiPo, virtually identical to the other one I used before, but this time it's just got a Dean's connector on the end. So just going to plug that in, and on safe, nothing at all, single shot. That is definitely crisper and snappier than it was before. It was definitely not as bad as the recoil, but obviously this was a lot snappier because it hasn't got the recoil engine to power. But this with the Titan, that's definitely a lot snappier than it was before. And on full auto then, that is definitely a big improvement. Now, it was definitely better anyway than the recoil, again because it's not powering the big recoil heavyweight in the stock tube, but that is much better, and that's only on a 7.4 volt. On an 11.1, I'm pretty sure that would be even more frightening than the recoil one. The recoil one is with a Titan and an 11.1. So actually that makes quite a lot of difference. Actually, the snappiness of that now is so much nicer. I'll just do that again. A couple of single shots. That is lovely. I'm really happy with that now. And now that I've done that, I actually can't wait to get it out onto the field. So I'll remove the battery, get that out of the way. A few points to note. Negatives, we'll start with the negatives, we'll go on to the positives. Hot rubber, absolutely terrible once again. KWA could do with working on that. Maybe we partner up with somebody else and invest in some good quality hot rubbers and put them in the factory. The battery compartment is not enormous and quite limiting, but there is, I'm pretty sure it's AirTech, do the battery extension pack that sits in there. It just means that your stock has to be a little bit further extended than this will allow. Other than that, out of the box, I would say the trigger response and rate of fire is definitely better than the recoil. Not quite as satisfying to shoot, but genuinely still a lovely piece of kit. The changeable uppers, obviously, if you are going to buy both, I'm just you know, a little bit greedy wanting to have them both. It is nice to have the changeable uppers and things. It is a beautiful rifle and it does shoot lovely. Does feel a little bit lacking because it doesn't have that recoil, but I am a massive fan of the recoils. So I hope you've enjoyed my review. I will leave the usual photos after this. If you are enjoying my content, please do like and subscribe. It really, really does help me out massively. So thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.